What's going on, everyone? This is Sammy over at Sammy J Reacts, and we have a very special video for you guys today. I'm positive that you won't feel negative after this video. We have the one, the only Stephen Oyoung here to talk about all things in the geekdom, all things in the film world, and I'm super excited because I have so many questions, and I hope it doesn't feel like I'm probing you with the questions that I have, because this
Bring
isn't
it.
supposed to be an abduction. This is just supposed to be a fun banter between, two individuals that just love to talk about what we love to talk about. So without further
Absolutely.
ado, Stephen, you
Thank
have
you.
a very decorated career. Like a lot of people probably don't realize this, but you have over 18 plus years in the industry, I believe, maybe even over 20 as far as I'm concerned. And you have roles in films like Sicario, which was one that stuck out to me. Like that's a film that I really enjoy. You were just in Twisters last year, and you're gonna be in Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I'm super excited for that. But I think the role that most of us, especially us in the nerdy space like me, love Spider-Man, love comics, love Marvel, all that stuff. And most of the people watching this video right now are probably, most familiar with you for your role as Mr. Negative. Like, I don't think you understand, Steven. You are the Kevin Conroy of Mr. Negative. Like now when I go back and I have the brand new day omnibus here for you to check out. So now when I
Nice.
go back and I open this up and I see Mr. Negative there,
Yeah. Yeah.
I read it in your voice. So
Hey, that's very cool.
and with that, there's a lot of gossip, rumors,
Yeah.
panic in the streets. I wouldn't say panic, I would say more
Yeah.
excitement in the internet
Yeah. Yeah.
that Spider-Man 4 is now titled Brand New Day. And with that, everyone knows that is the introduction of Mr. Negative. And there's been a lot of fun on the internet with fans, like even myself, saying that if there's one man who should be playing Mr. Negative, it should be Stephen O. Young. So I don't know if you've had the conversations or what you're allowed to say. I don't. It's tough. I
Drop
don't.
it.
I want to
Drop the
dance around
ball.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you excited for the
Yes.
potential opportunity to play Mr. Negative in Spider-Man Brand New Day? Have you had conversations with Sony around that?
Mm.
Do you know what do you know about the role? Because we know there is, like I said, the rumor that they are looking for an
Yeah.
Asian male, 30s to
That's
50.
right. Oh man, right? Right? Yeah.
That's
Well,
he's
look, it's have I had conversations with anybody? No. Uh, if I knew something, could I tell you? No, right? Am I excited? Obviously, right?
yeah.
Um, you know, the this is the first time in I think 5 years that I feel like people are kind of rooting for myself as an actor now. Uh, it's great to see that Mr. Negative is popular. When the game first came out, we were all there. Very few people knew who Mr. Negative was. Now he's pretty mainstream, right? And so for 5 years or so, I've seen the rumors. It feels like every 6 months these rumors kind of pop up. And then what I've seen for 5 years is like kind of people they throw out the Asian actor flavor of the week, right? And it's always the same four guys, right? And but all of a sudden this week it was different. And I don't know what made this week different from the others. And maybe it is Twisters. Maybe it's Mission Impossible. I don't know. But finally, for the first time, I feel like there's kind of a groundswell of support on my end. And look, whoever gets the role, I am not gonna lie, I'm gonna be super jealous, of course, right? But like I said, I think I'm mostly just very grateful that people are finally kind of putting two and two together. Because there's a lot of people that don't even know that Mr. Negative from the game is modeled after my face. Like they took a scan of my face. So when people are like, "Yeah, you kind of look like him," it always kind of makes me laugh. 'Cause I'm like, "Yeah,
That's me.
that's my face."
Yeah.
So. And then when they throw out other actors, for consideration, look, the fans, God bless them, I love them. Everybody's got their taste, but it's very funny to me when they're like, "Yeah, this guy looks like the game," or "This guy looks like the comic," and it's like that, huh?
Yeah.
So that's very funny to me. But yeah, I mean, I'm stoked. I'm stoked for the movie, and no matter what, I will go there and watch the movie. So I'm a fan too.
Awesome. I love to hear that. And there's I guess I have a couple of different areas I want to go with this next question. I guess I'll just start off with like the big what's coming next type of news. So,
Yeah.
is there anything you could say about a potential Spider-Man 3 video game and Mr. Negative's role in that, if that potentially ever comes
Well,
around?
look, we're always talking, right? There's always chatter behind the scenes and stuff, right? And so again, I don't know what their plan is. I'm sure it's going to be epic and incredible, and I'm sure they're working on it right now. I'm sure, right, to give you guys the best experience that you guys can get. And as far as Mr. Negative coming back, I personally feel like, his arc is is pretty complete. And if they do bring him back, I myself am very curious to see what they do. Does he is he bad again?
Yeah.
Is he good? Only now super good? Is he in jail? I don't know, right? So whatever they do, like I said, if they call, that's a yes for me. It doesn't matter, right? Like I'll make it work in my schedule. Let me tell you, okay? I
Yeah.
got the time. I got the
I love to
time.
hear that. I love to hear that. Oh my God. Well, with that, I mean, what was your favorite aspect of playing Mr. Negative? Because, he is kind of playing off of yin and yang. So you get to,
Yeah.
I always hear actors saying they love to play a villain, but you get to
Yeah.
essentially play both with Mr. Negative, and he's kind of
Yeah.
fighting with
Hey,
himself on the inside.
that is a great question and an excellent observation, Sammy. I think you might be an actor. It's true. All the actors say that it's the most fun to play a villain. And so the great thing about Mr. Negative is I was able to be the nice guy, kind of the hero, the philanthropist. And then I was able to cut loose and be this really mean, nasty, just terrorist, basically. And also that character, I have a very fond like I have a soft spot for that character. One, because it was the biggest role that I had that allowed people to finally recognize me. But it was also this kind of confluence of all the things in my own career. Like the guy is Chinese. He's an immigrant, right? I'm a son of immigrant parents. He's a martial artist who does kung fu. I did martial arts for forever. I was doing stunts. They said they needed a guy that did sword work. Sword was my specialty, right? And and then when I get that out there and I'm on set and I'm trying to be Martin Lee and I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I play this character? Brian Intihar, the director, gave me the easiest note. He said, "We like you. Just be you." When
That's
you're Mark B. And then when you're Mr. Negative, do your stunt guy routine, right? Which so I had that already built up over, like you said, 20 years where I'm myself out there in the real world. And then I had to be this nasty stunt guy, right? Doing
Mhm.
fights. And so I was able to bring both of those together. So Mr. Negative to me will always be special in that regard.
it's almost like they made the role for you. So, Sony,
Dude,
I don't know if anyone's
yeah,
I don't
man,
know if anyone's listening to it, but I'm
when,
just saying there's a
Hey,
reason.
look, I'm saying too, when I first got the audition for Mr. Negative, we didn't even know it was for Spider-Man, right? They just said he's like this nice guy, but he got this side to him. And I just thought to myself, like, who else? Come on, man, who does this? Right? You
Exactly.
either have actors who are just actors, or you have stunt guys who are just stunt guys. So it's very rare, I think, to be able to get both. And of course, you have your Jackies and your Donnie Yens, right?
Goats.
And your Jet Lis. Those are the goats, right?
Goats.
But I'm homegrown, baby. I was born in Rockford, Illinois. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that was Mr. Negative in the game too, right? It was like, okay, so he's a son of immigrant parents. So it's just like, I was just like, what?
It was literally made for you. Yeah.
That's what I always feel that
And
way.
and I know, okay, we might be running short on time. I've heard the story of how you got the role of Mr. Negative, but I don't know if you want to tell it to our audience because it's one of my favorite. Because when you bring up the reference to Rush Hour,
Ah,
the people who watch my videos, they know I love to quote that scene. I
oh,
quote it
yes.
like
Oh, dude.
all
So,
the time.
yeah, actually, so for the audition, they said that they wanted to model this character because we didn't know it was Mr. Negative. They said, okay, he's like Ken Lung from Rush Hour, with the bleach blonde hair, wipe your face, you're bleeding, right?
You're
Like,
bleeding.
So yeah, you're bleeding. So I go in and I do that audition with the full accent, and I'm speaking Chinese too, right? And it's this very intense scene, and I'm doing this where I have to like have a knife, and I have these hostages on a rooftop, and I finish the scene, and I didn't mess up any lines, and I was so excited. And by the way, I was the first to go, right? So already I saw the list and I was like, it was growing, and I was like, damn, okay, it's every Asian guy in LA isn't doing this, and I'm the first to go. That's either a good thing or a bad thing. I finished the audition, I didn't screw up, and I was so excited and thrilled that I threw my knife on the floor and I yelled at everyone, the creative crew, and I said to them, I defy you to find somebody better. And then I snapped out of it and I went, okay, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I said that. That was very unprofessional. And I think that kind of gave them that hint of like, oh, this guy's got this duality of he can be crazy, but he's also a nice guy. So
I love that
that's
story.
how I
Every time, yeah, every time I hear it, it just makes me laugh and just makes me puts a big old smile on my
yeah.
heart. But you
Yeah, I wish
mentioned like
I
you
wish we had the video for that.
yeah, but like you meant yeah, that's literally I need to see you throwing the knife on the floor saying that and just turning in Mr.
We'll
Negative
get
right
it.
then and there.
We'll get
But
it. Yeah.
you mentioned your stunt, your illustrious stuntman career, like your work in martial arts. I think that kind of just is a good segue to go into your next big role for one of the biggest summer
Yeah.
blockbusters ever, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Like,
That's
oh my
right.
goodness. Everyone here on this channel is excited for it, and I don't know if there's anything you could tease about your role in there, or like what was your favorite stunt if you performed a you probably can't say
Hey,
what stunt you did, but
right,
working with
sure.
Tom
Well,
Cruise has to be like,
I I can say for the like one of the very few times in my career on a big blockbuster, I'm one of the good guys. So that's nice, right? Yeah. And as far as stunts, I didn't do stunts, but I saw Tom do stunts, and let me tell you, that guy is as legit as it gets, right? Like, I truly believe that this guy might be a super spy, and that maybe being an actor is his cover. Because in between scenes, this guy was going and training, like underwater, and then also doing weight training because he had to train to do the aerial
mm,
sequence where he's hanging off of the airplane, right? But he also had to do the sequence where he's underwater holding his breath for God knows how long, right? Like 10 minutes. So, I was being able to work with your hero like that. They always say don't meet your heroes, but I've been very fortunate. Like all the people that I met, Denzel Washington, Keanu Reeves, Jennifer Garner, Jason Statham, Adam Driver, friggin' right, Superman, right? David Corenswet. It's
yeah.
now Tom Cruise, like they've all been class acts and super gracious. So yeah, I tell everybody I can retire now. I worked on a Mission Impossible, and then I don't want to retire, but I told my wife when I was just starting to date her, she would say, "Oh, if we travel, like we have to travel together. We can never leave each other." And I said, "Okay, that's fine. But if Tom Cruise calls, you have to let me go." This is before I got Mission Impossible. I'm telling you, I said, if Tom Cruise, I kid you not, 6 months later, I get the interview with Christopher McQuarrie for Mission Impossible. I told my wife, I said, "You're never gonna believe this. Tom Cruise called." This is 3 days before my wedding, by the way. I was like, Tom Cruise called. And yeah, so it was a miracle story if I've ever heard one.
Manifest destiny, baby. I love to hear that.
That's
That's
right, exactly. Manifesting, putting it out there.
that's
Absolutely.
incredible. I don't know if you have, I don't know how much more time we have. I could just talk to you for another
Yeah,
like
we could go. We
45
could
minutes,
go.
honestly,
Of
but
course, man.
um,
Yeah.
I just know what is your favorite moment on a set, I should say, because you've
Sure.
worked with some, like you mentioned, you worked with some incredible
Yeah.
actors, but also really incredible filmmakers. Like I mentioned Sicario at the front, getting to work
Yes.
with Denis Villeneuve and getting to work with
I
Roger
know.
Deakins. Like I don't
Yes.
know if you have like any other standout moments on set that are like your go-to stories to tell, but I just wanted to pick your brain on that.
Oh yeah, I think one of the cool things was Benicio del Toro, just to
Yeah.
see how he took the script and he said, literally, I'll never forget this. He said there's like this dialogue. He had to say this stuff. And he literally looked at the dialogue and he told Denis, I'm gonna say this with my eyes. And I was like, that's the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. And then you watch Sicario and you're like, the dude said it with his eyes. It's the scene where it's the end. No spoilers, right? But it's the end
Mhm.
and the cartel leader, right? I'm like, yeah. So picking up little things like that from these big time actors, like it's incredible. And again, Tom Cruise just standing there watching him do his stuff, like outrageous. Outrageous. So I've told this story, but the guy bought me dinner. He bought me and my family dinner. We went on vacation. We were filming in UK, right? I went on like a week-long break. I came back on a Friday and we were going to film on a Monday. And we went to this fancy restaurant in London and it was during Wimbledon. And I feel these two, I'm waiting for the table and I feel these two hands slap my shoulders. And I turn around and it's Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie. And we just so happened to get reservations at their favorite restaurant at that time. I tell you, I'm kidding. I do not kid you. And he sat in the corner with his people and we were having dinner and he came over to our table and he took pictures with us. And he was like, yeah, let's see. And he was telling my father-in-law, who, by the way, is a hard-ass Asian, right? Who's not impressed by anything. He was like, your son-in-law is a very good actor. You should be very proud of him. I was like, Tom, thank you, man. Then he paid for our dinner. Oh my God. So, I mean, I've had so many stories like that. It's nuts. Yeah.
Oh
So,
my gosh. I love that. I mean, like I don't even know how, I mean, me myself coming from immigrant parents as well, I
yeah,
understand your pain with the father thing
you get
there.
it.
I get it. I
You
get it.
get it. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I guess to wrap it up, I like to ask people, I'm kind of stealing their shtick, but
Yeah.
are you familiar with Letterboxd?
Of course. What? As in, oh man, you must be a
The
new
app?
generation. I know.
Yeah. You're not familiar with
Okay, go.
Letterboxd. Okay, so
No, go for it.
it's basically this app where you get to review and log every movie you watch. So you'll give it a star rating and then you can
Yeah,
actually like log it and it's like a diary.
sure.
But it's a
Yeah.
social media platform, so you share your reviews with everyone else.
Right,
So
right.
on Letterboxd, you have your Letterboxd top four on your profile
Yeah.
page. And on
Oh,
there you
nice.
have your four favorite movies. Obviously, you don't have four favorite movies. You kind of just go off with off the top of your head, right?
Yeah,
Um,
right. I
but
got
as
you.
like so what is your Letterboxd top four, Steven? I'm
Oh,
very
dude, I
curious.
got you. Well, ironically, okay. Now, number one, Last of the Mohicans. Yeah.
Daniel Day, man.
The ending to that movie, it cannot be topped. Incomparable. And number two is actually a slow one, a weird one. Is Ride with the Devil by Ang Lee with Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man. It's a Civil War movie
Uh-huh.
and it's like 5 hours long, but I could watch that forever. Number three, another Michael Mann movie, Heat.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Rest in peace, Val Kilmer, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Man,
And probably number four is gonna be, I gotta say, The Matrix, because I think it inspired me a lot in my martial arts journey in my
for
life.
sure.
So those are my top four, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
those are a great top four to have up there. I mean, I have a top one. I'm kind of just like a Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2 is like my
Oh
favorite
yeah?
movie.
Number one or number two?
I just say that's my favorite movie because I know I'm gonna go into a rabbit hole of trying to pick what my other
Yeah.
three favorite movies are because there's just so many movies to pick from. It's insane.
Yes,
But
I got you. Hey,
yeah, all right.
Toby's my guy. Toby's my guy. I get you. I totally
Yeah,
get it.
I love
Yes,
him. That's
yes.
my
And that
goat.
that
But
trilogy is matched for sure. But
yeah,
Tom Holland, hit your boy, hit up your boy, get me on there. Shoot, I'm
Tom.
trying to get Simu Liu to help me. You know what I'm saying?
Simu. What are you? Yeah, come on, Simu.
What are you
What are we
doing, bro?
doing, man? Help
We
Steven
out
out,
of here.
man.
We
Yeah.
out here. Help a brother out.
Oh man, Steven, this has been so much fun though. Like, I know you have to run. I just want to say, I'm so happy and grateful for you to take out the time to do this and just talk to me one on one and
Dude,
it's
Sammy,
so fun, man.
well, thank you. Let me tell you, thank you. You have a big reach. I appreciate it. You're actually inspiring me because I'm just starting to get on social media because I think that's the future. So I think you're doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. Your audience is only going to grow. You're awesome. I think you might have it to be a friggin' actor slash voice
No,
actor if
stop.
you can.
Stop. Stop.
I'm
Stop.
just
Stop.
saying, just don't take my job. That's all I'm saying. But we don't compete
No,
for the
Steven.
same.
Yeah, no, Steve. You can have Mr.
Okay.
Negative. We'll get as long as we get you Mr.
Yeah,
Negative, I'll be happy. I
then
can
we
die a
good.
happy man. Yeah, we're good.